We as a people who are Christian believe that there's neither Jew nor Greek, neither Gentile. We believe that it is possible for all to be one in Christ. Our problem is fundamentally theological. And for us to continue to do sociological analysis of this is only going to postpone our really coming to terms with what really ails us. And so these resources must be developed, but I want to suggest that we are going to have to call upon the best minds of the church, both lay and clergy, who are going to be willing to commit themselves to think and to reflect upon this and enable us to have resources that are going to speak to what are the genuine needs of communities that are in shock when they must, in fact, invade their comfort zones in order to be able to participate in the birthing of this new world, in this nation at least, where there is going to be a greater number of women and men who are not of Eurocentric background. Thirdly, I want us to consider the possibility of our being able to have a greater number of resources developed, particularly in terms of research projects regarding the relationship between gender and race. This is not something the General Board can do by itself. It is something that is going to call for actual, not collaboration, because collaboration is only a way to say, I'm going to do what I want to do after we finish talking. There's got to be consultation and accountability amongst the agencies in regard to how we are going to, in fact, provide such resources for the church. Fourthly, I believe that the issue of language diversity is something that we have not yet put our best minds to. Namely, we are very, very monolithic in our understanding of how we go about preparing women and men in order to be able to serve within the total connection. The reality is that the way we function right now, it is a pipe dream to assume that somebody has to be prepared well enough that theoretically they can serve in any church in the annual conference. The reality is that's not going to happen. And until we, in fact, are able to be more serious about that, we need then to be more humble and to say that we can approach the issue of language impediment in a way that is going to still be responsible, that is going to ensure that women and men are placed in pulpits, are placed in positions of leadership, and they will not be individuals who have empty heads. They will be able to communicate, but we're going to have to be able to do that far more creatively than we have done. Number 5, I believe that there will be, from the General Board of Higher Education and Ministry, a greater commitment than we have had in the past, a greater commitment to holding the seminaries accountable for the way in which they build their faculties. Now, be clear, I don't sit on the board of trustees of any of the 13 theological schools and seminaries. One of my staff does, the Reverend Moman, but bottom line, we are not able to dictate anything. We don't have a proprietary interest in our seminaries. But it is the case that our seminaries do belong to the church. They are schools of the church.